Here's the thing, folks. If I'm over here looking like a whole entire homeless man, I'm talking about completely unkept, hygiene abandoned, and I decide to go out into a public space and somebody tries to hand me some loose change, I can be offended, I can be triggered, but I can't really be mad at that person for perceiving me as something that I am demonstrating, at least on the outside, right? And unfortunately, this is the case when it comes to Angel Reese. Now, for those of y'all who don't know who Angel Reese is, she is essentially a WNBA star, I guess you would say, whatever that's worth. WNBA star who is now more known for her cheeks than she is for her hooping ability, which is not a good place to be. At least I wouldn't think so, right? Especially if you take your craft seriously, you would want to be known for that. It's kind of like Michael Jordan being known for his bald head. Okay, maybe that's not comparison. I don't know if I can compare cheeks to a bald head, but you get the point. She is now being known for her physical representation more than all else. Now, this would be an unfair thing if it wasn't for the fact that she has been presenting herself publicly, posting publicly, because that's what you're doing when you're on social media, mind you. When you're on social media and you post pictures of yourself, they're revealing, etc., that's the public domain that you are posting into. That's not a private chat. That's not a one-on-one conversation. That's everybody who's getting access. And so, it's not just the fact that she was posting that. She's grown. She can do what she wants. But it's the fact that she was then crying at one of the, I guess, a press conference or something about how she was being objectified. Now, to me, again, I understand that we want to live in this world where objectification may not exist, even if you put yourself out in a certain way. However, when you are a person who is looking for a certain type of attention, you're creating this image yourself. That's how you're going to be perceived. I say if you lead with the cheeks, then that's what whoever, like if the bait is the cheeks, then the person fishing is going to get you for exactly that. That's what they're going to take you for and as. You can't be angry at a person for wanting to sleep with you and nothing else if you led with your sexuality. And that goes for everybody. This ain't just an Angel Reese situation. I actually wanted to use her story or this entire fiasco that's going on as a point of reference to say we can't expect to disassociate the two. Yes, there may be people who dress modestly and are for the 304 culture. They're for the streets. There may be those who dress scantily clad, right? Revealing clothing and all. Well, revealing clothing, that's kind of oxymoron. They're showing a whole lot of biddies and a whole lot of booties. And they may not necessarily be about that life. However, the way that we are wired as human beings is that we will perceive that as being, whatever that thing represents or associates. As a matter of fact, clothing is oftentimes used as a representation of self. So if somebody is wearing that clothing, it's like a streetwalker, right? A woman of the night. She wears a specific set of clothes in order to show you, represent that she is a streetwalker. That's where a lot of that clothing comes from. I know, ladies, y'all have been marketed to, y'all have been sold on this idea that this is sexy and you want to wear this and it's for you. It's just for you. Look, it's the same thing as a dude who's sagging his pants. It doesn't take away from the fact of this came from a certain culture. Sagging your pants came from prison culture, and it was a representation that you are open for business, okay? When you wear certain clothing or a lack thereof, like this situation with Angel Reese, then the outcome is going to be the perception that you are for the streets. So there is a story that just recently broke that Angel Reese deleted her Instagram due to the backlash of a picture she posted on New Year's. Now, there's context to this entire thing. And again, I'm not a drama channel, so it's not necessarily to get in the nitty-gritty of the drama itself, but instead to make the greater point, the cultural point, I guess you would say. So essentially, she has a showcasing where she wore kind of this onesie looking thing where the cheeks were basically half out. So that was the first situation. That goes viral. Shaq then ends up making a comment to her during one of her podcasts saying, if you wore something like that while you play basketball, you guys would get a lot higher ratings. And he's not joking. I mean, Shaq is a creep. It's been known, like, he creeps on people's wives, girlfriends. He's a creep. Okay. I'm not buying the facade of Shaq, but in that situation, he was not all the way off as far as the point he was getting across to her, right? And he was pointing out to say that there is an aspect that's looking for attention, especially in the spaces that she was walking in, you know, a multitude of men in those spaces. And so he pointed that out. There was controversy around that. And so, you know, she obviously comes out, it's like, you know, just to be objectified and objectification, right? And it's like, we hear you, sis. Okay. Now we end up having a few more showcasings of the biddies and such, you know, the assets. And obviously a few of these little images go viral, whatnot, but it was after a podcast interview that was done with a quote unquote controversial figure, Charleston White, and an NBA player by the name of Jeff Teague, where they had a conversation. And Charleston is, again, he's a straight shooter. So he went straight to the point and he said, it looks like Angel Reese wants to be an OF model more than she wants to play basketball. Looks like she wants to be a streetwalker more than she wants to play basketball. That's the time. This dude talks like this. That's who he is, right? So there was a huge blowout. They're trying to cancel the podcast for even having this dude on the show, etc. After that, we have New Year's that comes around, and sure enough, you know, as sure as the sun rises in the east, we have Angel Reese pop out on social media to her own volition, her choice, wearing that outfit. And after some backlash, she ends up deleting her whole entire social media. Now, there's always going to be a subsect of the audience who is going to feel, well, that's so wrong. She shouldn't have to X, Y, and Z. And you guys, I get it. I understand it. Logically, I get it. But you also have to understand that however you are representing yourself is how you're going to be received. If you put a suit on, there's going to be a certain connotation from the external world. And everybody judges. I don't give a damn what somebody tries to tell you. Oh, I don't judge. You know, I'm not the judgy type. All of us judge. Is just to what degree we judge and for what purpose and reason. So if we're using our judgment as a weapon, that's problematic. If we're using it as discernment, that's wisdom. So as a man, if you're looking to find somebody who is a desirable partner, a spouse, a wife, you're going to use your judgment, your discernment to kind of sift through the possible situations, the possible problems you could run into, aka the 304s, right? The ones who are for the streets. And the most obvious way is presentation. She's got a face full of makeup. Eyelashes look like caterpillars. 13 different weave variations. BBL. The BBL is out. The short shorts or the little dress that pops up every time she sneezes. You understand? The breasts is basically popping all the way. Just, you know, little nippies looking for their way out, hanging on for dear life. You see somebody walking through them streets like that, you know what you're dealing with. And a dog or a dude who's, you know, who is trying to get active or whatever it is, which I don't condone, and I don't believe does any good for a man or a woman or the relationships that we're trying to build, a healthy, functional relationships. However, a man is going to see one thing and one thing only if he sees these certain tropes. And that's simple. I know it sounds unfair and it shouldn't be that way, but we also have to think to ourselves then, why are we presenting ourselves this way? There's this massive lie that it's for self. I'm doing it for me. If you're doing it for you, you're not taking pictures to post for the public consumption or for the public's consumption. If you're truly doing it for yourself, it's like me saying, I'm just doing these videos for myself. I am partially doing it for myself, but I'm also doing them to be received. I'm also getting this message across so somebody can listen and somebody can hear this, right? Now, there may be a positive connotation to why I'm looking for this attention, right? Because attention is not all made equal. Some people are just looking for attention's sake. Some people want to be validated. They want to feel like a somebody. They want to be, validated. They want to be praised. They want to be worshiped. They want to be seen. And then there are those who want to communicate a message that they believe is going to help somebody, which I believe myself to be in. Again, it's not to say, I'm this perfect saintly figure. There are multitudes of people who simply want to get their gift out, their talent out. It's like even, singers. You see a whole lot of singers, they have to sing because it's just in them. The Whitney Houstons of the world. And, it was never about the image, the Adeles. It was never about, they didn't have to have the little string going through the areas. You understand me? They didn't have to have the whole cheeks just hanging out for no reason. And then you have artists who are like that, where it's simply about the Ice Spices. It's simply about the body. The Cardi B's, where it's like, okay, we can't go through a video without you, poking out your B, your B and your L. So the Angel Reese situation, it's very, very simple for me. All the other conversation around it is not necessarily as relevant, but there has to be a remembrance to say, what is it that you want personally? Like if I was talking to her as a sister, as a cousin or something like that, I'll say, look, if what you're looking for is for people to take you seriously, to take you as this type of woman, because that's probably why she's tripping. Women who are really about that life, they don't give a damn. They're presenting, they're selling it like, they're on the internet selling it for real. But if she's not trying to be seen as that person, which I'm guessing she doesn't, because she's up there crying about being objectified, and then, she posted, that on New Year's, and then she didn't get the feedback she wanted. She probably wanted some positive attention. She ends up getting people calling her out, men and women, mind you, because women see it. Y'all see it probably even more so. When you stop justifying for one another, you see it more clearly than even men do. How other women can be looking for attention, looking to compete, etc. And so once she didn't get the response that she wanted, she ends up deleting the account. Why? Because there had to be some level of disappointment, some level of shame there. And it's like, I don't want to be there, where there's a struggle and a fight. One side wants all the attention. One side wants to be seen. One side wants to be a baddie. And the other side wants love, wants to be cared for, wants to be taken seriously, right? Maybe even just in her work as an athlete, it's like, damn, people aren't talking about my hooping skills. They're talking about my boobing skills. You understand me? That's what they're talking about. They're talking about the shape. They're talking about the aesthetic. They're not talking about the athleticism, if there is any, right? And again, it's only problematic if that's not what you're looking for. That's why for me, I talk to serious folks every day. I don't talk to people who want to go out there and run the streets. People who want to cheat and make excuses and be immature. I don't talk to them folks. I don't talk to people who want to be victims of their circumstance. I talk to people who are willing to take accountability. And so I'm using this as an opportunity to do exactly that. You have to be responsible for how you present yourself. Character and reputation are two different things. However, your character is going to leak into your reputation. And your reputation better be a representation of your character. Otherwise, you're fake. You're putting on a mask, and soon all masks will break. They only have but a short lifespan. Every mask is going to break. So that being said, I appreciate y'all. Let me know if you want me to get deeper into this specific Angel Reese situation. I've been getting more and more into social topics because I think there's powerful lessons to learn from them. Simple as that. So appreciate y'all. Till the next time. Peace.
I used to be afraid of the dark, a place unknown like a heart in their heart. I used to see my life in the bar. Now the kids unchained, every shackle is lost. 2 steps in the moonlight, 2 step in the daytime. You just know when it feel right. You got a feeling the time's not. See you through those shades that I just threw on. Through my lenses, you just can't do no wrong. I fell in love with myself again. I fell in love with myself. I fell in love with the sunshine. I fell in love with the light. I fell in love with the full moon. I fell in love with the night. I can see the light again. I can see the light. You can see the life in him illuminate the night. I know the time is taking. A 365, that's a full rotation. I see you looking up, you know them constellations. Constantly gazing like house of praises, you get to praising.